Hey, hello, great people. Thank you for joining us here on our beautiful channel where we talk about life. And once again, I'm with my one and only begotten, beautiful daughter, Tamanda. Hi,
Hello,
how are you?
I'm good.
You're good?
Yeah.
Nice hair, by the way.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you. Thank you.
You, nice African,
Yeah. I
natural,
love my hair.
natural hair. By the way, maybe you should blow it out the way I see you do it sometimes. Maybe next time you can blow it out.
Yeah.
It looks good.
Thank you.
You have very beautiful hair. Do you believe that your hair is beautiful?
100%.
100%.
Yes.
Okay. Next time we'll talk about hair. But today we're not going to talk about hair. We're going to be talking about dreaming. How does a young person dream? What does a young person dream of? What does a young person want to achieve? What is inside a young person's mind in terms of what they think about the future, how they want to win, how they want to grow? That's what we're going to be talking about, and how they want to contribute to life. Because many of us were young people some time back, but we're not young people anymore. And so we have forgotten how young people actually view the future, their fears, the things that put them off around dreaming and hoping and all that. So that's what we're going to be talking about. What do you think we think about dreaming for young people as adults? Do you see us asking about your dreams and what you're dreaming, and do you see us taking you seriously?
In my experience, I feel like with the adults that I have around me and those who surround me, whenever they ask about, my dreams after school, what I plan on achieving, for me, honestly, I feel like they actually care about it and they are genuinely interested in knowing and learning more about them. So, yeah.
Okay. What do young people dream about? You don't tell us about your own dreams, but you can tell us as a younger person. Tamanda is a young girl. She's a teenager, people. Uh, we don't say age, do we?
We can.
We can.
Yeah.
Tamanda is still 16, so you can imagine she's just starting life. She's just starting life. What do young people dream about? Because I think I've forgotten what that looks like. What do young people dream about?
I honestly I don't know if I can speak for everyone in terms of young people, but I know a majority of young people, first of all, they they want to, okay, how do I put this? They want to achieve much, but they want to do it while enjoying themselves. Yeah.
What do you mean?
For example, if someone wants to become a doctor, when they learn that about the med school and the residency and the certification process, that kind of overwhelms them. But then you can see that their dream is genuinely to become a neurosurgeon or whatever. But then again, the extra time and effort, it's for them, it's like school all over again.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, so they want to achieve big, they want to do big things, but they also want to enjoy life now.
Exactly.
Now, I think you're pointing towards something. You're telling us that you cannot achieve both. I mean, am I getting you right? You're saying, yes, they're dreaming of big things, but they also are emphasizing something else, which is enjoying themselves now, which seems to be one is pulling in one direction, another is pulling in another direction.
Yeah.
So, are you saying that that's a challenge to their dreaming, to how they dream?
It's possible maybe a person can find a way to balance both sides. But from what I've seen, majority of people tend to want to have the more fun part in majority of the times. So yeah.
Okay. So a lot of young people, you think, want to.
I want, like I said at first, I will not speak for everyone.
Yeah.
But at least in the ones that I've talked to and that I know.
And I think that's great wisdom to say that I'm not speaking for everyone,
Yeah.
because people have different ways of
Exactly.
approaching life. Some through having fun, maybe is what actually fuels them to go and achieve the things they want to achieve. Others are destroyed by the fun that they want to actually have right now. So let's talk about Tamanda as a young person living in Africa, living in the bigger world, in a time like this, where AI is at its max and increasing. It's not at its max, actually. It's really getting
It's increasingly
increasingly
every day.
getting more sophisticated. In a world where there's a lot of political anxiety all over the world, even in Africa, we know we're still growing our economies and all that. In a world where girls are still not given the most in terms of opportunities in some parts of Africa, but also in a world where young men are being mutilated in some ways in terms of how to be a man and how to grow up to take responsibility. So how do you dream, and what are you dreaming as far as life is concerned? What are you dreaming?
So I think that because, as you've just stated, there's so many problems in the world today, like so many. And as I recently attended MUN at my school, that's Model United Nations, where basically young people come together from different schools, and they kind of model what a United Nations conference would really look like. So, as you know, the United Nations has different committees. There's a committee that's in charge of the refugees. There's one in charge of disarmament. There's one in charge of humanitarian crisis. So there are different committees, and the one that I was in was the UNHCR, which is the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees. So from there, I was able to do a lot of research. The country I was a delegate for was Germany. So I was.
You were German.
Exactly. So I did a lot of research on Germany and the UNHCR work, not only in Germany, but in the countries that were in my committee as well. And there were so many things that we debated on. The motion that we were on was whether the UNHCR should punish countries that refuse to allow refugees, regardless,
unrestricted refugee
exactly, entry, of the economic and domestic reasons. So every country was saying that no, this is not fair, because a country can genuinely be going through a really hard time economically, politically, domestically. And while we respect refugees, it was concluded that there should be a certain amount of refugee quotas that are shared among all countries, right?
Okay.
So the thing is, every country was on that one side.
Yeah, more than what we can afford. No more than what we can take in.
Exactly. It was a very lively debate at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So, back to the question: what am I dreaming right now? What exactly are my dreams? So,
what are your dreams in that regard of increasing selfishness by countries, increasing nationalism by countries? What is Lady Tamanda dreaming in that regard, specifically?
So, to answer the dream question now, my dream is for there to kind of be, a form where all countries are united with the same kind of mindset.
Yeah.
Not a facade I would want to be that person who would step out and challenge those countries, who would be that diplomat who will say no. I want the hypocrisy to just stop.
What do you mean
And
by hypocrisy?
because at the end of the day, everyone is going to say that we support this, and their actions are proven otherwise.
So specifically, you are dreaming of a world which is more accepting of everyone in terms of those who are running away from trouble can be allowed to access safer or more economically viable regions than it's happening right now. A more tolerant migration dispensation than what it is right now. What has been stirred up in your heart about global future and humanity and all that, it doesn't have to be necessarily in the issue of migration. At least
No, I
that
left
that was a trigger for
exactly.
you. But
Yeah.
what are other areas, even from spinning from that, that you are dreaming about as a human, as an educated, intelligent girl living in this new generation?
So my dream is to be that person who is going to speak up against such, is to be the person who is going to call those things out, that diplomat who will not shy away from actually putting light on the truth of what's happening. And in terms of those who, okay, there are so many people in at the moment, there are so many people in life who who are not cared for, because if the world is not benefiting from a certain country, let's say an African country, small, somewhere in the corner, if the world isn't benefiting from that, no one is really going to go out and help that country if they're in a war. So for me, I want to be that person who will point that out and be like, just because you're not getting oil from them doesn't mean you sit back and you watch these things happen. The UN is in charge of doing this and this, but nothing is going on. So my dream is to be that person who is going to stand in that gap and be able to help in such situations in the future. Yeah.
We've talked about some very serious things about migration, and it's a very controversial subject, especially when some people feel that they are attacked from all corners in terms of those who feel they need to seek asylum in their areas, in their homes, in their countries. Yet, really, they also have their own internal challenges.
Exactly.
And they feel that other people are just taking advantage of their nice, well developed economies and organized societies and all. So, and yet we also know that some people are genuinely running from real trouble
Yeah.
from other parts of the world where they don't have enough opportunities for work, where they do not have enough opportunities for really basic survival, and sometimes where they may be facing some political persecution that actually requires that they run away from where they are at. So that's really interesting, and I think we need to give it more thought as people of the new world dispensation, especially because I don't think it's going to get any lesser of a problem. It's going to keep increasing because inequalities keep increasing all over the world. Some countries are getting richer, and other countries actually are either stagnated or even not getting any. I mean, they're getting worse than they were. As a young girl thinking about these things, where is the world going? Are we getting better? Is it scary? Is it exciting?
One thing I know for sure is certain, as the world keeps like as the years keep moving, is AI. I know for sure AI is not reducing anytime soon. And I know that in 20 years, maybe that's even 10, 20 years, there is going to be so much use of artificial intelligence. So that's one place I know the world is going to be at. And The thing is, AI is really good, but of course there's still some disadvantages of AI. And one of them is the craziest one of all. People actually developed some AI weapons. I thought AI is robots and ChatGPT and Gemini, but AI is being used everywhere, in everything. It's just showing me that in 10 years, in a few years, it's going to be actually crazy. So, yeah,
So,
I know AI is going to be
so what
out
excites you
there.
then about the future? Because it seems as if you anticipate a lot of turmoil and chaos through AI, through migration policies that are not favorable to people. Is there anything that excites you about the future when you think about the future? What is it that gets Tamanda hopeful?
Honestly, even the things I've talked about in terms of like, migration, AI, and everything, I wouldn't say that's something that's keeping me from feeling excited about the future. Because at the end of the day, we don't always expect, we never expect a perfect world. But for me, I know that I'm going to keep growing. I know I'm going to keep learning. I know I'm going to meet, God has a way of just bringing people in your life and you're like, wow, like such people exist. And you I have so many friends, and the fact that I'm going to keep meeting new people, creating new friendships, growing, learning more, becoming, my own person. That's so exciting.
Okay, so you
Yeah,
you have hope for the
exactly.
world, and I heard you bring in the aspect of God keeps doing this. What is the aspect of faith in your life that enables you to dream better? How does the aspect of faith enable Tamanda to dream better and more objectively than maybe if she did not have faith?
God created everyone, and he has we have these morals as human beings that we know are right. But as a Christian girl, even today and in the future, the reason why for me, I don't know, like my faith right now, even though something were to happen that was unexpected, would it make me, a bit sad and some feeling kind of down for a moment? Of course. But I have this hope that in the future, whatever happens, I know that there's one person I can count on, and that's God. And that's crazy because in school, I have grown like with friends and people, and there's some people who just are not the best to you. There are people who will leave you, and people who will make you feel like, why am I even here right now? But if there's one person who is constant all the way, even in the future, even though things change, it's God, which is so cool. It's just beautiful. It's amazing. So honestly, that's where I stand right now.
That's admirable.
Yeah.
But somebody would ask Amanda, how do you know that this person is constant? You've never met them. They've never sat with you and had a conversation with you. It is all some spiritual reality that you've never touched. I've used the word reality, but you've never touched or felt. It's really an act of faith. Where do you get that assurance that He exists, God is real, and that as you dream, He's actually going to be continuously real in your life?
You see, the thing is, whenever a Christian can be asked, like, how do you know? Where do you get that
Hey,
proof? Where? The thing is, the answer is always perceived as so crazy, but the simple answer is faith. Because God can reveal himself to people in different ways. And honestly, for me, I don't even know when I started believing. It's like God has just kept you know, I've just kept growing in Christ every single day.
How?
So that, like,
How?
it's a unique thing. I don't even know the right word to use to explain it, but God just reveals himself,
Okay,
and
so
you
probably the
know
question I'm
it
asking
when
is
it happens.
based on what? Revealing based on what?
Okay, so of course, being a Christian, you need to believe that, believe that Jesus is Lord and that God raised him from the dead. So there is that whole
Who
belief
says
aspect
that?
in the Bible.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm trying to lead to, Tamanda.
Okay.
So based on the Bible.
Yes.
Now, that's where I also wanted to ask. It's a very old book, very ancient book, and some people really find that a lot of the aspects in there cannot be empirically proved. Okay? How can you, a young, intelligent woman, continue to believe in an ancient book that many find very contextualized in a certain historical Middle Eastern culture? And we are moving on, we're talking about AI, we're talking about advanced science and all those other things. Why is that book still relevant to you, even as you dream for a better future, a better world?
Okay, so you see, a lot of people say that, the Bible is an ancient book and everything. And that's true. But one thing people tend to forget is the Bible is also a history. It's like a historical book. So if you believe a historical book of Egypt, you believe a historical book of Greek times and Roman times and all those medieval times and the World War I and those are all history books. So if someone believes all those different books and the facts that they present, then what is stopping that person from believing the Bible too? Because it's all history. It's all history. It happened at all, even some of them the same time periods. So it's all history at the end of the day. And the Bible has a very unique part of it. It has Jesus. It has the Trinity. That's what makes it unique. And only faith can actually make one believe in that part. But yeah.
Lovely. Tamanda, I admire you, your faith. I love to see you. I love it when I see you worship and believing that there is more to life than just what is here. And that even as you dream, you are anchoring your faith, your life's projections into that which never is shaken, and that is God Himself through His Word. And also just to encourage you, Tamanda and my friend, all Scripture is God-breathed
and is useful
yes.
for teaching, rebuking, correcting, and training.
So in other words, even on top of it being a factual historical book, it is God Himself who led humans to write the things that they put together therein. Let's keep dreaming positively without despair. Yes, the world may be getting a little crazier with AI and all that, but Tamanda showed us that we can anchor our faith on even greater hope. And that's the hope in Christ Jesus. See you next time. Thank you for joining us.